You by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Friday Fun Day edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from our usual place, our happy place, 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park. We've got Jeff Defo DeForest. We've got the professor, Ken Jacobson, is sitting in today.
Thank you for having me.
We've got Mike Lubie Lubitz getting us fired up on the various platforms. And we've got myself, Mike Mayonnaise, after a big day of eating yesterday. And, man, everything was going so well in the world. I mean, it was like birthday month. We got Defo's birthday coming up. It's raining flood insurance dollars at the Mayo household soon. We've got Defo was cashing big tickets all month. We had a Stanley Cup champions crowned, and Stanley Cup is going all over the place, including our friend Reno shaving Parmesan cheese.
That was great.
Pasta. We've got a parade on tap for Sunday,
Sort of.
and then last night happened. Jeff Defo DeForest.
Wow, no, that was unfortunate. I really did. I felt like I was watching, and I love Muhammad Ali, one of my favorites of all time. World of sports, influential in many different ways. It was like watching him against Larry Holmes, watching Biden and Trump.
I disagree with you. You can't say Trump was Larry Holmes. That was like peak Larry Holmes.
He weighed as much as Larry Holmes.
He might,
Weighed
actually, I think
more.
Holmes
Or
weighed
George
less.
Foreman.
Yeah.
I think Holmes weighed 215 that night, but it was legitimate. He got on a scale. Yeah.
So-
No, it was a disaster from the start. It's unfortunate.
Why, was it embarrassing that the two American presidents spent 5 minutes arguing about their golf
Yeah, the
game?
golf thing was both of them. I mean, it
the
was a
whole
disaster.
thing from start to
Neither
finish.
of which you can imagine could play a lick, by the way.
No, wait, they're in their 80s.
Yeah, but like everything else.
I
the
did
whole-
like the line, though, like, if you can carry your own clubs.
Yeah, look, there was a lot of, okay, I'm going to set the stage this way. We usually don't talk politics here on the Lunchbox. I try to avoid it. We don't allow it on Let's Eat South Florida, which is why I'm delaying the broadcast until we get past this point.
We're on tape delay.
Well, I'm going to load us up there after we get, but again, you know me, Defo. I'm a former
You got to get into it.
newsman.
No,
I'm
you
a
can't let this
journalism
go.
junkie.
Yeah.
I was a news columnist for 14 years at the Sun Sentinel. And when something momentous happens, I just feel compelled
This
to
is sad.
acknowledge it because you can't avoid. This is okay. And what happened last night, like it or not, no matter what your partisan stripes, was momentous. In that Joe Biden, who called for this debate at this early juncture,
You know what the dumbest thing?
who had a whole week of cramming and over cramming because he couldn't remember all the facts and statistics they jammed in his head.
Wow.
But those first 10 minutes,
Woo.
I think, as you like to call playoff games, that was pivotal. And it changed the
it looked
entire
like-
course, I believe, of this election cycle. And it is my contention
That was
that
it.
after this,
It's over.
they need to switch out. And again, it's not just me. Every major
That's not true.
it's
You're
not
actually
happening.
wrong. You're actually wrong. Like what I'm trying to tell you, and it's not my bias because I agree with all of you. It was a disaster. Biden looked like a cadaver, not even a corpse, a cadaver. Like after the corpse, the thing that they do the autopsy on, that's what Biden looked like.
That's
the numbers,
a cadaver, dude.
that's what I'm saying. A cadaver. It wasn't even a corpse. It was past the corpse. Like he was literally the freaking cadaver. The numbers, pretty much, unless you're looking at a right-wing rag, have not changed at all. Like at all.
I
That's
really
all
want
I'm
to
saying.
It's way
I
too
really
early
want
to
to
say
see
that.
what
We
news
haven't had
sites Simone, or not Simone, Shirley has Lubie on.
I'm
That
telling
he
you, look.
comes up with these conclusions. Like
No, I've read a ton of stuff from people of
Look,
all the
the
avenues.
Rachel
the
Maddow.
three of
No,
us-
you're getting that from.
No, they were like them. The liberals are the ones that are losing it the most. The liberals are the ones that like fooled themselves into
I
believing
don't call
Biden
myself
wasn't
a
young.
liberal. I call myself
Biden wasn't
a
old.
common sense person that I call him as I see him. And I knew Hillary was going to have some problems because a lot of people just don't like her. And I knew going
Hi,
into that
Ken.
year
Nice
of,
to meet you.
of change, that people want to change. But what I looked at last night now, all I saw was the past. And there's nothing to rally the youth, like my 18-year-old daughter, who is just like, she has no interest in voting in this election. She calls these guys and this was 2 weeks ago, 2 old men who are not long for this planet. And she,
I mean, unfortunately, in Trump's case, that's not true. He's going to live forever.
well, yeah, but the bottom line is, when I looked at that, all I saw was a crazy lying sociopath who does not respect the rule of law or the Constitution and is a wannabe dictator, and that who's hell bent on retribution against a guy who looks like a guy like your grandfather with dementia. And it's gotten to the point where, Joe Biden just had to, he's trying to tell everybody, and his people are telling everybody, that he's not too old, that he's up for the task. But last night he failed miserably. And as a result, you have genuine panic in the Democratic Party at the highest levels, along with a real concerted effort of, can they switch out? Can they ask Joe Biden to step aside at this point?
Because they can't. Because they don't have anybody viable
it's a
to replace
disaster,
him.
and they can't. So that's to me the dumbest thing that's come out of this thing last night is thinking people are going to remember this 4 months down the road. Like literally, the news cycle's 30 minutes now. It's not even a day. It's not even 5 hours, including bad debate performances. It's 4 months. Like that would be such a Democrat move, is to double down and make it worse. Like Trump could do whatever in that thing last night and it wouldn't matter. Republicans would have stayed the course. To try and take last night and act like it's more than one night, I think is ignorant and stupid, to be brutally honest.
Van Jones, Thomas Friedman of the New York Times, Frank Bruni of the New York Times.
Isn't the New York Times right-leaning now?
No, these are all
100%
moderate.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right-wing now.
All of
isn't
these
it?
people today have called
Right-leaning
for
now?
Joe Biden to step aside for the good of the
What
country.
do you
and this
read?
is
The
a
Daily
real
Workup,
conversation.
Pravda?
I saw
Like-
Newsweek, and a bunch of other.
Newsweek is okay. All right. Defo,
I want to know the publication that labels the New York Times right.
I've seen stuff more recently that
Lubie
leans
has
right.
drank some sort of Kool-Aid.
It's not about Kool-Aid.
Like,
I think it was a mess last night.
Lubie's
But
at
where are you
home
going?
watching Soviet television from the 1980s.
Look, going into November, I thought the choice was between Biden and Trump. But right now, my choice is between Costa Rica or Portugal.
There you go.
Because
Well,
Give me a
that's, I
few
mean,
of
I
those.
can't fight you on that.
That'd be the place to go,
No, that I
I
can't
don't
fight you on.
know. I don't like this choice. I think we
Oh, good.
need a better choice. And only, look, the one party is not even talking about replacing their candidate, and that's the candidate who's a convicted lying felon
Yeah.
awaiting sentencing and 3 more criminal trials.
I want to know where you came away with Costa Rica or Portugal.
Well, they
That's
seem
an
like-
interesting.
Yeah, those are two very
Yeah.
diverse
Is
countries.
that
and
based
very
on
diverse.
food? What's the story?
Costa Rica doesn't have the best food, but I like their
Fire
climate.
Ronaldo
Food is
jersey,
solid.
or like, what's the deal?
You like the fact they gamble a lot there and they're young girls all over the place?
They're-
What's the
You know,
story?
the current state of the casinos in Costa Rica is actually pathetic.
Okay, well,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
What
really is terrible.
there's always on like him.
All
I-
overrun with
I don't even know
hookers.
why I
It's-
went
yeah.
with those two. They just seem like pretty, friendly to Americans.
That's good.
Maybe I could get a passport. or
Australia,
something like
dude, the Gold Coast.
that. All right, we're loaded up on the Let's Eat South Florida group. I just had to get that off my chest. Look, the people will decide, and there's going to be a lot of clamor in the next few weeks. But meanwhile, we're here at Gulfstream, and we're surrounded by beautiful food. And Jeff Defo, DeForest, I understand that you had a food experience last night that you wanted to share.
Oh, I saw this on Let's Eat South Florida, and somebody took a shot at a place I used to go to years ago. I lived right around the corner from this joint, the Dragon Tea House, and everybody's always asking, and this ties in with your tip horse of the day, where Woe Hop is running in the 9th race at Aqueduct today. And that's a natural. I mean, every New Yorker is going to bet on Woe Hop, you would have to imagine. Greatest Chinese restaurant, at least according to many in New York. Do you agree with that, by the way? Or Woe Hop, is that your go-to place? I mean, it was a classic.
It used to be. I've been there a lot, especially late at night.
I mean, I've
falling
been there
down
in
the
like
stairs,
30 years, yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
After a night of drinking. And
But it was always good. I mean, there was nothing
it
wrong.
always seemed good. I don't know if it was actually good. I've never tasted the food sober. New York Noodle Town became my place in Chinatown,
Yeah.
which is around the corner. But Woe Hop is a
You probably
classic.
can't go wrong there. I mean, in Chinatown in
And
general.
Woe Hop today running in the 9th race at Belmont, hunch play
Yeah,
of the
that's a
year
hunch
for
play, yeah.
foodies or
I saw somebody taking a shot at the Dragon Tea House. I used to go there. It's Professor, you might have been there. I don't know. Commercial Boulevard, a little bit east of Dixie Highway, on the
Nope.
north side of Commercial.
Never been there.
And there's always this question about, where can I get Chinese in the area? And there are really only a few places in the area there within like a 5-mile radius. So one would be May's Kitchen, which gets a mixed bag of reviews. Doesn't look like
I
much.
love May's Kitchen,
Food's not bad. Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean, you're hesitant to walk in there once you see the place.
It's a weird environment, but the food is really good and it's cheap.
Golden Walk, I mean, is similar, and I think it's pretty good, although I've seen some negativity there. But I saw somebody just blasting the Dragon Tea House. I got to say, they do a nice job there.
Nice.
It's kind of changed over the years. I hadn't been there in many, many years, and their takeout service is excellent, and food good, clean, and
all you
well
want
worth the
from
money,
Chinese
yeah.
takeout is some decent fried rice, a decent egg roll, some wonton.
we got a little General
egg drop
Chow's
soup.
chicken. It was made well.
Yeah,
I mean,
what is your go-to Chinese?
I mean, I'm pretty pedestrian by Mayo standards on takeout on Chinese. I'm getting some chicken fried rice and maybe another dish. I know Mike doesn't agree with the whole mapu tofu
No,
concept.
I don't
but
agree with it. It's just not my style. I mean,
I understand. So, yeah, I might go for like a honey garlic chicken, General Chow's chicken, orange chicken.
I don't think you
Something
go
like
wrong
that.
with General Chicken.
All right.
I think.
Yeah, and they did a nice job. So whoever this was, this crackpot that started this whole controversy about the Dragon Tea House having gone downhill, dead wrong. Price is reasonable, very clean, looked like a well-run place. Every time I've gone there the last few times, order's always ready, right on time. So, just wanted to clarify that. I
Let's
know
be
some
honest
people came
on
to their defense.
Chinese. So if like the appetizers and the wonton is on point, do
Yeah.
you really need anything else? If like the egg rolls, I'm a fried dumplings guy. The wonton,
I became a steamed dumplings guy, and
Okay.
Val loves dumplings. She like any place, anytime, Asian, Chinese, some whatever has any kind of dumpling she loves. And but lately, there's a place near me called the Hunan Wok One, which is my takeaway Chinese place, and they do incredibly good steamed dumplings. Where it's like you can tell it's like house-made wrappers. They're just like very fresh, and it was actually better. I went to one of these fancy frou-frou Miami places, not frou-frou, but it's called Zitz Sum. It was very much started as a pop-up during the pandemic. It's in this office building in Coral Gables. It's gotten awarded not Michelin stars, but the Michelin Bib Gourmand. And they did these dumplings, and they were all mushy and stuff. And I said, man, the steamed dumplings that I get for $6 at my local, Chinese takeaway, with the fresh wrapped and a little bit al dente on the wrappers, and then the nice fresh pork minced with some herbs and
I like
scallions.
that.
That was better.
I like that Michelin Bib Award, by the way.
Yep.
I just discovered this via YouTube, but like there's this whole complex in Orlando that's got like 6 different types of Asian places inside of these 3 same crappy strip malls within like a 1 block radius of each other. And like I'm watching the YouTube reviewer guy, and it all looked great, and they all had the Michelin bibs from the last few years. I almost drove up to Orlando to get some udon and some Laotian food, some larb.
Well, Michelin Bibs is supposed to be awarded to restaurants that provide quality food at good value.
Right.
And I think maybe some started off this way. It's like a South American chef who had some, I guess, Asian influences in his background, and he made these like dumplings and shumai. And now he's gotten this menu that's a little far flung, and he also does like a tasting menu for like $125. And like that to me is not exactly bib
I'm not
gourmand.
paying $125 for a Chinese tasting menu.
Well, but he also has things
It's like
now.
Rainbow
You're talking to
Palace.
Mike Mayo.
It's Rainbow Palace.
What
But
are
it
you
wasn't.
talking
It
about?
wasn't
Yeah,
even all Chinese. Now he's gone global, where
Where
he
are we,
does
Vegas at
he
the
d-
Win?
He did this like it's like a Portuguese skinny sausage wrapped in a bao
Now
bun.
in a linguica.
It was like a pig in blanket, but it was like it didn't work. The bao bun was way too thick. But I come here not to bury Zitsum, but to praise
I have to
some
ask,
local Chinese.
because it's another local YouTube that
takeaways.
looked incredible. Have you been to Tam Tam?
No, and that's on my list. Okay, so this weekend, a lot of people are going to be heading down to Fort Lauderdale Beach for the parade on Sunday. I'm fleeing town. I'm actually doing a staycation down at the Biltmore in Coral Gables,
Nice.
a place I've never stayed. Val has never been there, and we use some points, and we're going down, and we're going to be doing some
Are you going to
eating.
play golf?
No golf.
No golf?
I don't have a 6 handicap, and I can't carry my clubs. My clubs got washed away in the last flood.
How
So
sad, yeah.
we're going to be just pampering ourselves and going around eating. We've got dinner lined up at Ariette down in Coconut Grove. My friend, chef owner Michael Beltran, that has Michelin stars. It's been a Michelin starred restaurant ever since Michelin came to Miami. Great place. We're also going to be going, I think, to the brunch at the Biltmore.
Nice.
And we might go to Apocalypse Barbecue, which is further south in Miami, because I've been hearing a lot of good things about that. But as far as Tam Tam, which is a Vietnamese place downtown, that's on my list, and we might go there tonight. for
Okay.
dinner. So
Check it
Should
out.
jog
'cause
down to,
I have not been, but I watched, was it Eater? or
Yeah.
maybe Food and Wine.
Infatuation
Did like
raves
a
about it.
YouTube 10-minute video on him, and his stuff it made me want to go down there.
It's a husband and wife, right? And I think
It's a husband and a husband.
husband and
Heard
husband.
him.
Yes.
And one of them is Vietnamese and one is American.
I don't know if he's Vietnamese American or if he's true Vietnamese, but
No, one's American and one's
culturally,
Vietnamese.
yeah.
I think. Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, the one husband handles the wine and
Yeah, front of the house,
beer
back of the house.
selection,
Yeah.
and the other handles the food. But the
Tam-
food looked ridiculous, and
Okay. Well,
they do a few mains, but it looked to me like it was one of those places where you go in
Well,
and you
you-
get like half a dozen small plates and whack
that's
them
great.
up.
And you know me, Professor. I love checking out these places. I guess this place opened like a year ago. I've been hearing nothing but great things. And I kind of fell away from the 305 for a while. I was so busy with Dickstein up in Delray Beach and Boca eating up there.
How long has that been since you've seen this guy?
Dickstein, we had a nice.
Dickstein? Oh, good.
We had a beautiful dinner at Livello restaurant up in Lubie's neck of the woods in Coral
Dickstein
Springs.
used to be part of the daily conversation on the show
he used to
at
be.
one time.
He used to be in my head. I love the man.
You were obsessed with this guy.
He's
Yeah,
good.
that
He's
was
a great guy to go out to dinner with and eat with. He's a good. Yeah.
You should go jog down to Homestead while you're at the Biltmore
There you
and
go.
revisit the Lubie wedding
There you
place.
No, we're not going to do that.
No?
I think you have hours.
What
and
What was
days
the
to
name of
work
that
on
joint,
We're going to
Lubie?
stick with the
Oh, that's
Biltmore.
funny.
But meanwhile, so that's going to be my weekend. Is anybody here going to go to the parade?
I
Maybe
plan on.
going.
I want to.
I may get forced in.
I want to, and if Ken may be able to help me with parking, so that would make it even
Had
easier for me to go.
Had it not been for the staycation at the Biltmore, I
You
would have.
gone?
I would have pulled a Mayo move because last night, had this a collaborative dinner at the Ritz-Carlton on Fort Lauderdale Beach at the Burlock Coast restaurant where Paula De Silva oversees everything along with her executive chef there, Adrian Grenier. And they had a collaborative dinner with Aaron Sanchez, who obviously on TV all the time. He's one of the judges on the Gordon Ramsay Hell's Kitchen show. Used to be on Food Network. He just wrote an autobiography, so he was kind of selling and pitching his book and signing autographed copies. And if Barbara Klein, if you're out there, I finally got your book autographed. I know
Nice.
it was supposed to be back at the Visit Lauderdale Festival where Aaron did a couple of events, but got a chance to chat with him and meet him. And the staff there pulled off a beautiful job executing a menu. They had this salmon with crispy skin over a pumpkin seed mole. They had a seafood stew with coconut and lime that was perfection. I mean, they pulled off a menu of Aaron Sanchez's recipes to a T. It was delicious. And then I ran into some of the executives from the Ritz, the food and beverage manager there, and they were saying that Sunday is going to be crazy, but they also have this balcony on the third floor that they were all going to watch it.
Invite? Nice.
And I was like, I'm going to be down at the Biltmore. But it was tempting. I could have pulled the Mayo move and might have gotten onto that balcony there to watch the parade.
With your pull with Reno Sorbonne and Luongo, and that was
Yeah, I'm surprised
as
you're
you
not on the
said,
truck.
a classic. How are you not like on stage, man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I'm surprised you're not hanging out at Kachuk's house.
Yeah.
Kachuk, by the way, he recently got engaged, and he popped the question at our friends at Anthony's Runway 84.
Oh, that's good because I thought you were going to say elbow room.
Well,
Oh, he
no.
did?
His hangout.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear this?
No,
I
no,
guess
no.
I kept it under wraps. But our sources there at the Runway 84 group and Mark Falsetto told me that Kachuk did, pop the question at Runway 84.
So he has a girlfriend?
and I hear
Oh, yeah, we know about that. Yeah.
now he has a
yeah.
fiance. But I
Yeah.
also heard that Anthony Bruno might be a little bit upset that he brought
They
the
didn't
cup
bring the
to
cup in?
Reno.
Oh, really? But they're nothing alike, those two. Okay.
I know it's a Roberto Luongo
And
thing.
what is that
And Kachuk-
attachment?
He had to bring it to Reno's
Runway.
place.
That's
He
his
really
freaking
did, yeah.
brother-in-law, and Roberto Luongo literally is the guy that they, to my
He married
dismay,
his
do the
sister.
drum.
He had to
like,
bring the
yeah.
cup.
I
What are you
know.
talking?
It's just a
There's
little
not
bit
even
of plan. We're just hoping at some point the cup
Yes,
makes
it should
a
get to
visit to
Runway. That would
Runway.
be
It should
nice.
be at Runway.
Yes,
at
that would
some
be
point.
nice.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Anthony, you've been running South Florida for so long, you just expect that to be the default, right?
So, and again, for those who don't know, the cup, it's called the presentation cup. There's 3 cups. One of them, actually 2 of them reside permanently at the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. And then this presentation cup is the one that's brought down, awarded to the champion, and then they get to spend time, and each of them gets a day with it. It basically stays down here for 100 days, probably until the season opener when they raise the championship banner.
Hold up, my mind just got blown.
Okay, why?
The Stanley Cup that they walk around with is the fake Stanley Cup. The real one's in the Hall of
fake-ish.
Fame.
It's a real one.
fake-ish. It's a real one.
engraved, but there's 3 versions of the cup,
Okay.
and they know this.
Which the
presentation-
one that the first one from the 1800s and whatnot
Not
is where?
that was retired in 1970 because it became too
So the
brittle.
one that goes around is fake.
It's a
Ish,
it's a
fake-ish.
it's
a
became
fake.
it's the replacement cup. It's
Yeah,
like
that
what
means
the
they're
Dem-
dunking it in the
it's
fucking.
like what the Dems
pardon
are
my
looking
French.
for right now.
They're
A
dunking it in the
replacement cup.
ocean. Like,
Oh, it's fun. Where's Hillary?
My mind is just smoked. Like I did not know
You see, I find
all
out all
famous
these fun
pictures
facts.
of the Stanley
Yeah,
Cup.
Mayo
And
knows
there's,
all
there's
this
actually a
crap.
third one
It's a-
called the permanent cup that sits in the Hockey Hall of Fame when the
There you
presentation
go.
cup
It's
is
a very
out on the
Canadian
road.
thing to do.
And-
Have 3 Stanley Cups and 2 of them are fake. And the
By
one
the
you
way-
see in the arena
by-
is fake.
by the way, your
perfect.
morning
Good
take-
job, Canada.
People, you should
I'm
check
going to
out-
cut it out and make it its own thing later today. I just was
check
running
out
around.
the morning Defo show where they
Professor,
concentrate
brilliant today.
heavily on sports. But he does a weekly a feature called they call it the
Big
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 Board.
Board top
Big Board.
5.
It's like a top 5, and he was about reasons to hate Canada, and your number one reason about Canadian sports and calling curling basically shuffleboard with janitorial services.
Yes.
They did not
made-
basically. That's what he said, and it was a great
made
line.
me laugh out loud.
It was true.
And that's why we love the professor. It's going to be a big weekend. I got to take the first break because Joe Beja actually came back from Italy. I
He
bet
is.
he's
Where is
regretting
Beja?
that
Excellent.
decision, but he's going to be down here about 1:30.
What a
And when
trip
he-
this guy had.
and when
he
he
had a great
comes,
What a trip.
we're finally going to award last week's contest winner.
Yes,
There's a
people- 4 people
6-way
have asked for this, so
tiebreaker.
good for you.
I'm really stretching it this week to the bitter
Yeah, you've
end.
done,
We got a
amazing.
6-way tiebreaker. Joe's going to pull the little slip from my plastic baggie,
Oh, yeah.
and
Nice.
but we'll do that first. We got to take our first break, and let's before we go into that
Yeah,
first
we wanna
break,
talk about
we're
Talk
going to
about
talk
something,
about
yeah.
Tropical Acres Steakhouse. It's the weekend, and why not go in there, especially the week that was, celebrate or commiserate or whatever you want to do. Happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30.
Everybody's going to the window later.
It's going to be a fantastic time Monday through Friday, and then you go into the dining room. And tonight, Friday, along with Monday through Friday, the Twin Lobster Special, $39 for these fresh steamed New England lobsters, along with a salad and a side dish. You can't beat that value. And of course, they have their perennial classics like the prime rib and the filet mignon and the rack of lamb, whatever you want. They are masters of hospitality. I got a text from Jack Studiali this morning, and we love the Studiali family, 3 generations in there now. And they will take great care of you. 954-989-2500 for reservations. 2500 Griffin Road is the location, and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We are at Gulfstream Park's 10 Palms. Last night, maybe, and I think it was a disaster, whoever the hell you're voting for. But it's never a disaster here at Gulfstream Park. Mike Mayo's in rare form. We have the professor. We have the deep man himself. And I will be back, hopefully, with Mr. Italy himself, Executive Director of Hospitality of all of Gulfstream Park, Joe Bejo, on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox after this.
From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to Stromboli'sPizza.com to place your order today. All right, we're back at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. They're running races. They're betting races. Defo, we've lost. Next week, it's a holiday week, but we will be here next Friday. It's going to be a spectacular because it's going to be Defo's actual birthday next Friday.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be taking the holiday off, but we'll be showing a replay, an encore edition on Thursday. And Tuesday, we're going to be at Shenanigans celebrating the Panthers championship with Pat Utter, big-time
Mr.
Panthers fan, big-time local sports fan. Wednesday, we'll be with my favorite, the nagging conscience.
Yes, like your mother.
My mother. My now that my real mother is gone, she's
going
to
to
adopt
adopt
Lenore, but at Gilbert's 17th Street Grill, she loves to give me the business, and
she loves to sex you, as we say in
sometimes,
Yiddish. Yes.
You know who did that to me? The only 2 times I met her?
What's that? Who?
Lubie's grandmother.
Oh, my grandma was big
Really
on having
did
Ken get married. She
Want to
couldn't leave him
bust my
alone.
balls about relationships.
She couldn't deal with that. He was, I guess, at the time in his early 40s and was not married. Again, she's a Jewish grandmother / she may have been a great grandmother at that point, and she couldn't comprehend.
Well, look, we all need a
Just
little
living your
nagging in
life.
our life at certain points, and
And then
I absolutely love going to
where were
Gilbert's.
we? Were the Yard House?
We were here at Yard House.
And I was having like a lettuce wrapper. She's like, "That's not a meal. What's wrong with you?"
My grandma
You gotta-
had no shame.
That's funny. So, and again, I love going to Gilbert's. We've developed this real rapport where people have actually come in to Gilbert's and told Beth, her Lenore's daughter, that they've seen us on the lunchbox going back and forth, and they just had to come in and meet her in the flesh, and then they eat there, and then they fall in love with the place because Gilbert's is great.
Sorry.
Great spot all the way around.
Yeah, we love it.
Certainly in consideration for the best hamburger anywhere in South Florida. Tremendous variety. Desserts are sick there. Beth and Lenore just do a great job.
We're happy to have them as one of our sponsors.
Richie, he's a great guy.
They're open every day, but Sunday, I think they are going to be open for the 4th, too, because there's going to be a lot of people going back and forth.
What happens on the 4th in terms of dining, Mailman? Can you tell us anything?
I'm going to throw some steaks on the grill that I get from Beauregard, but
in the restaurant business, so
it's one of those kind of
weird day, no?
Weird day, like lunch places.
I was going to say, do people close? Because I feel like it's a day people would go out and
one
eat.
of those days that I would absolutely recommend calling the restaurant.
Yeah.
Don't just go on Google because a lot of times there's bad information. Call the restaurant and make sure that they're open before you go out there on the 4th of July.
What are people looking for? Because, the thing is, especially if you're by the beach somewhere or anywhere where there's fireworks, everybody comes in at like 8 o'clock. It says, I got to be out here by 9.
I think pizza is good. You grab a quick pie or stuff that you're going to eat on the beach. Subs.
Yeah, pizza wings,
Our friend
subs.
Andrew up at the Seaside Subs in Deerfield, and of course all the sub shops.
Well,
up and down.
the Spadas,
DNS, and there's a new one getting a lot of play on the Let's Eat group called What's Sub. Not What's Up, but What's Sub in Deerfield Beach. I got to check that place out. So, it's a grab and go day, I think, if you're going to the beach. And then it's a barbecue day at home. I mean, again, I'm looking forward to I actually might take a trip back to our friend at Beauregard's Fine Meats and Butchery.
Oh, yeah. That was
and of course, now I'm having a Biden moment where I can't remember his name, even though I sat down with him. Cameron. Thank you. Cameron.
Bad when you have a dedicated Democrat calling it a Biden moment.
Oh, no. After last
Cameron Hills is run. The shop opened April 6th, and he does tremendous job and beautiful.
Sandwiches were fantastic.
Kind of like,
and he does meats as well.
Florida raised cattle. He has all these beautiful cuts of steak in there, prime beef, and I might go in there and get one of those for barbecue grill on 4th of July. But before that, I want to say this weekend also a good place to go. Our friends at Casa D'Angelo, 3 locations. They've got the one right here south of Gulfstream. If you make a nice score, go down there. Beautiful restaurant, Casa D'Angelo, where my friend Giovanni Rocchio is now the executive chef. We're going to be doing a lunchbox show with him next month and with Angelo Elia when he gets back from the old country. And, of course, the original flagship location, Fort Lauderdale.
That's like getting a sit down with the Pope, getting Angelo on the show.
Oh, he's a class individual.
A lot of your sponsors are summering in Italy this year.
Well,
Yes.
And I'm glad that they
I'm
came
jealous.
back. Joe Beja is back from Italy, and we're going to have him on in a moment.
Quite
Again, 3 locations, also Boca, Casa D'Angelo. Go in there online at casa-angelo.com. Tremendous place for celebrations. I think the Defo birthday celebration.
Quite
maybe
the
we should
group
have
of
one.
Could be there, yeah. I
Jet
mean,
setters
especially if
here
you're
on the
navigating
food
the
show.
check, that'll be awesome.
Do that. All right.
Yeah.
Before we get Joe Beja on, and he'll be here.
People
any
keep asking
minute.
about the contest, by the way.
Well, we're going to do the contest tiebreaker from last week when Joe is here. I'm going to have him doing the honor of, and I've got the fentanyl slips right here. There's 6 of them.
The what?
He jokes around. They look like fentanyl.
Look at these little.
How do you know what fentanyl looks like?
I mean, he's watched TV shows and
I'm a
movies.
journalist. I kind of.
Oh, you had to try it for your journalism? I don't know. What does that mean? I'm a journalist.
But in this little baggie is the names of 6 contestants who are in the tiebreaker from last week's contest. We'll get into that, and he'll do the drawing when he gets down here. But first, let's launch this week's contest. And it's time for the 10 Palms Sunday Brunch Lunchbox giveaway. You email the answers to this week's restaurant trivia questions, along with your horse selection for this week's Gulfstream contest race, which is going to be race 10, which is the $100,000 musical romance stakes for fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs on the main track, post time 5:35 p.m. Again, that's the 10th race at Gulfstream, numbers 1 through 9, and the Euro 25 tiebreaker. We're making Sarni happy this week.
Oh, yeah?
And we're going to, again, there's no more hockey. I refuse to go to a baseball game for a tiebreaker. But Euro is a pretty big deal. Tomorrow on the card is Italy versus Switzerland in Berlin. And what we want for
The
the
professor already
tiebreaker.
gave a pick for that game, actually.
Did he?
So
All right. Well, we want
the professor.
we want
He
the-
loves the Italians.
winner or draw and the total number of goals. So that's going to be 2 components. You're going to either say Italy, Switzerland, or draw.
Can they draw?
He's
Aren't we in the
calling-
knockout round?
he's
Can
ca-
they draw?
He's calling for that's the regulation time bet.
Okay, yeah, because they
They-
can't draw in the knock. Are we in the next round?
No, someone
we're
has
not
to
in the
advance.
knockout round
Yes, we
yet.
are.
Oh,
yeah, we
are?
moved to the
Yeah.
next round.
Oh, so we're up to penalty kicks?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah,
But of
Oh,
But
course,
you can bet on
still
just
bet the
regulation.
draw because that's
you
regulation.
can bet on
time bet.
regulation
All right,
because penalty
so-
kicks is ridiculous.
regulation draw or Italy or because if we get penalty kicks,
That
I'm not.
sucks.
I don't
No,
count
that's-
the penalty kicks.
I mean,
No.
honestly,
You
Like,
can,
well,
but
I
that
mean, you
sucks.
get extra time.
I didn't factor
But
all this in.
In this matchup, draw is
It's
not a
blowing
bad
up in
bet.
my face. Finally, I thought the
No, but you
contest,
can pick draw if you want to pick draw.
Draw is not a bad bet.
All right.
90-minute time.
all
obviously.
those 3 components. Email it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow. Back to the regular deadline, and the match, Italy-Switzerland match, starts at noon tomorrow. So again, the restaurant answer, the winner of the 10th race at Gulfstream, numbers 1 through 9, and then you're gonna give me the Euro 24, either Italy, Switzerland, or regulation draw, and the total number of goals in regulation in that game, and email it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. Having another Biden moment.
And the
I can't-
winner,
do we have
and the
a
winner of the
contest?
debate
What's the
last
actual-
night.
Oh yeah, the actual clues.
What's
Here we
the
go.
actual
Here you go.
contest?
So here we go. For this week's restaurant, we salute a bygone. That means no longer in existence. South Florida
There it is.
restaurant.
It's our favorite establishment.
Here's Joe Beja in a second. But a bygone South Florida restaurant that, perhaps in keeping with the theme of the day, found itself unceremoniously replaced a little while back.
There you go.
Here are the clues.
All right?
This esteemed French restaurant at the Biltmore Hotel,
Oh, there you go.
where I happen to be staycationing this
There
weekend.
you go.
This esteemed French restaurant at the Biltmore in Coral Gables had the same name as the top prize at the annual Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, yes, it did. That's true.
And it earned its share
Good
of
clue.
awards from the time of its late 1990s revamp until its sudden COVID closure in 2020. It was one of only 3 restaurants in Florida to earn the coveted 5 Diamond Award from the Mobile Guide. And it also received top 4-star reviews from the Miami Herald on multiple occasions. Okay,
I
again,
think Portnoy gave it an 8.2 also.
did they
It
have,
went by the
they have
croissant.
French
Can you do one show without stroking off some Boston jerk off?
We hate Portnoy,
Can you-
actually.
Careful,
French
Professor.
restaurant.
This is Mayo show.
This should
We
be
hate
enough.
Yeah,
Portnoy,
yeah.
actually.
Okay, this clue number 1 should be enough.
God,
Esteemed French
Ben
restaurant at
Affleck
the
out.
Near
Biltmore
Boston stuff.
had the same name as the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival. Okay, number 2. In a 2009 review, Miami New Times restaurant critic Lee Klein wrote, "There should never be a conversation about Miami's best chefs that does not include Felipe Ruiz, nor one concerning our finest restaurants without the mention of
This.
blank, this fine dining palace
Okay.
where Ruiz helmed the kitchen for 13 years.
Okay.
And clue number 3, I still don't quite understand why the Biltmore decided to jettison this restaurant, replacing it post-COVID with an upscale Italian restaurant named Fontana that really nobody ever talks about or
Yeah, I
goes
was gonna
to,
say.
especially in Coral
There's a lot of
Gables where
Italian
you have
restaurants.
Fiola, which is fantastic.
Nothing like dinner for two at the Fontana.
Yeah.
So you've been
No, that's why I started my journalism career with the Fontana Herald News.
there
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go. Lola Fontana? Oh no, it was Lola Fontana.
It was a dump.
Right.
Tumbleweed was blowing by the newsroom door when I started.
All right, Joe Beja is waiting in
Joe
the wings.
B.
We can take our second
We're gonna
break.
let's take our second break. Before we do, we're gonna put on the fine a word about our fine friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap in
Yes.
Fort Lauderdale. Great place for weekend brunch, and you're gonna want to party a little bit with maybe a bottomless cocktail option this weekend before the parade on Sunday or all weekend long. They also have great lunch and dinner throughout the week. They have the Whiskey Wednesday on Wednesday evenings, which features some great in-house educational programs featuring some of their house-made whiskeys and some of the classic whiskeys that you know and love. Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap is at 525 North Federal Highway, and they have free parking in the garage next door for 4 hours. It makes it real simple. And again, Kevin and Brandon will take great care of you. The way they're really getting a buzz going, and everybody on the Facebook group, Let's Eat, is going in there, and they're just raving about how they get treated at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. Go check it out for yourself and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, Mike Mayo's Lunchbox returns from Gulfstream Park to Tempom with Mr. Italy himself. The fact that he's here actually baffles all of us
I was
because
expecting
I don't know that I've ever seen it.
shades.
And we've all actually been to Italy. We've all enjoyed Italy. I don't know if any of us have enjoyed it like this gentleman.
Welcome back,
Mr.
Joe.
Italy, Executive
Thank
Director of Hospitality of Gulfstream Park, Joe Beja, joins us next here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
Prezzo Italian Restaurants, 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and we welcome back. We didn't know if he was going to make his way back.
I
We
didn't think
thought
he
he
was
might
coming
just
back.
stay, especially if he was there last night. He saw what happened here in this country. He would have just
Screw it.
ditched the
Wow,
one-way
you can't
ticket.
let that go today.
All right,
No,
can't.
I
No, I'm a little bit. All right, so Joe Beja, welcome back. How are you? And you must be both giddy that you had this experience and a little bit forlorn that you're back in the work, the usual. Well,
Yeah.
but to
The
be
grind.
here,
I
it's
mean,
great.
The best part about it, quite honestly, is being a single dad, raising my daughter and stuff. We did a lot of American trips, and very proud to be an American, and the historical cities that we have here, like Boston and everything. But you're still in America.
Yep.
So for me, for someone that hadn't been overseas in like 15 or 20
Oh, it's been that
years,
long. Okay.
to actually get out of the country for 2 weeks was a complete refresh.
Yeah.
And to see a
Well,
completely
the mindset's so different.
and a different mindset, different way of living, like just casually, in the morning you have un cafe and you have it in China. It's not in a to-go cup, and you have it with a pastry, and you don't have eggs, and it's just, it's just a whole different way of mindset, and just the quality of the meats, and you get a fresh,
Oh, you had a Florentine
panini.
steak one night,
and had
right?
a Florentine
Did you get
steak one
Florentine steak?
night.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I had it the way it was meant to be had for the first couple
Rare.
of pieces, which
It's
is rare.
super rare. Yeah.
But
Like
I
raw.
also noticed my charcoals were still cooking a little bit at the table, so I
You
flipped a
could
few
finish-
pieces
finish
on the
off.
side just to get them to medium rare.
Yeah.
But just even like certain towns, like we did a day trip to Cinque Terre just to see all the little towns.
Oh, you went up
I
there
heard
to
Cinque Terre was a
Margarita,
like
Santa Margarita, and
My wife went to it, they're so
Portofino.
bad.
But we went to like Manarola, Monterosso, and like the town of Monterosso has a special pasta called trophy, which is like a little short spaghetti but twisted.
Yeah, that's my
And
my
they-
buddy Giovanni, and
Yeah.
he's down at now Casa D'Angelo down there. That's his specialty. He does a trophy with seafood. That's unbelievable. So
Down there, they did it with where I had it, it was with a pesto, Genovese pesto,
Mhm.
Nice.
with a little potatoes and green
Oh,
beans.
the potato and green is
Nice.
the
Yeah.
that's Genevieve or is it Livernaise? I don't know.
Maybe it's Livernaise.
Livernaise
But-
up in that near
But just to see
Yeah,
all those
Northern
houses packed into that cliff,
Yeah.
which I know happens down in Amalfi and Positano and stuff too, but having seen it in Cinque Terre was
That's
great.
called the Italian Riviera. I spent
Yeah.
some time there
Yep.
on honeymoon number one, and it was but it was fantastic. I mean, and again, but here's the upset of the week because we had your new executive chef, Jason Glues, came join us last
Yes.
week. We were discussing your weight, and before you left, you thought you were going to put on 5 pounds. He put the over under, I think it was even 10 pounds. I didn't know where it was going to be, but lo and behold, what happened?
I'm a walker, so
Yeah,
we did
you
like
just
18,
walk a
20,000
lot.
steps
Yeah.
a
So
day.
it was a
and
And
wash,
it's summer, and
right?
it's
I
hot
think,
as
yeah,
heck
it's a
there.
wash. I
So
actually
it
I
was
came back
0.0.
and I must have had gelato every day. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
no
you're eating
joke.
pasta.
I
at
was
least
eating,
once a day.
pasta once a day. I was eating gelato every day,
Bakery
or
goods every
or
morning.
tiramisu. But
But when you burn like 2,000, 3,000 calories
Yeah.
walking every day, then you could
Well,
eat
and the
a little
stuff's
bit.
not processed. The
and the
not being
stuff is not
processed,
processed.
your body
Everything
handles
is-
it so much differently.
Yes, every pasta's homemade. There's nothing coming out of a bag in Italy.
No, no.
And so it was just amazing. I mean, I love that the different regions, like when you're in Rome, it's tonarello pasta, and the sauces are either cacio e pepe or carbonara
Yep.
or amatriciana, and those are your 3 sauces. And that's like, I love how the
Yeah,
Italians have it in
simple. They
different regions
simplify
and
it.
stuff,
They
and
keep
it was
simple.
great.
All right. Well, it is now time. This is the longest we've ever gone without actually
Picking a winner.
picking a winner for last week's contest. We already gave the clues for this week's contest, but there are 6 people who made it to the tiebreaker from last week. We did it in honor of Royal Ascot meet going, so the clues led to King's Head Pub in Sunrise was the restaurant. And then the Gulfstream race, it was number 2 that was the winner, and I got to look at Barracuda or Barracuda. No, Barracuda. I don't know. It was the number 2. 6 people had that, along with we went to Ascot for the tiebreaker, and nobody picked the winner or second place horse, and the third place horse was the favorite, and there was a scratch, so they get the favorite. That was number 5, Mill Creek. So 6 of them had the 4 or the 5 horse at Ascot, along with the 2 horse at Gulfstream.
Chalk eaters.
These 6 people are now in here. There's a couple of repeaters and there's a couple of first timers. And we're going to have Joe Beja reach in and pick one and only one, unless he wants to give away 2 packages.
That's on him.
I'll go 2. We'll go 2.
We'll go 2.
Really?
We'll go 2 on this.
The man
Here we
is
go.
feeling generous.
That's
You
it.
want the man
He
to do
comes
the
back
You need to go to
from
Italy more
comes
often.
back
It's
from
the Italian.
Italy.
It's the Italian hospitality. So
Wow.
that's it. I'm embracing my
All
heritage.
right. I think more of you maybe want Joe to be doing
more
vacations,
waiting
right?
all week because people are clamoring. We didn't have a show on Monday, or I don't even know what we did this week. It's all been a blur with the Panthers and
Yeah.
oh, how about
We
that?
didn't even talk to him.
Unbelievable.
How about that,
You able
Joe?
to keep track of it over there?
I was happy for it. I was actually
Missed
like,
almost the whole thing.
you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I'm checking a score, and then I get up in the morning and see the final and stuff. But it was great. I was very, very excited. And I actually, believe it or not, before I left, put a $50 bet on the Panthers to win the Stanley Cup.
Nice.
So,
Good for you.
so I
Good.
probably did some money. I was getting
put
nervous with the
5
$50.
to win on the Panthers in 6, getting
Yeah.
5 to 1,
Yeah.
and that game 6 broke my heart. I didn't think they would even make it to game 6, and then it goes to game 7. What an exciting! I mean, those last 5 minutes or 9 minutes, it was just
It was
it was
forever.
agonizing. But they got through it and they played their game, and I'm so happy because I didn't want to hear about the whole
Chokes and history and
chokes
Yes.
collapses.
Oh, I know.
and have the Canadians
And
celebrate the way that they would have celebrated
Yes.
as a country, even though they hate
And
Edmonton.
I was in the middle of a 20-hour day. I flew back that day, and I was like, "Oh, it's game 7. I got to stay up." I
Yeah.
was exhausted,
good
so
for
I
you.
was just like managed to make it to the final in the end, and then I went right to sleep. I didn't watch the celebration.
Kind of
Well, it's-
weirdo sport. You score 0 points in the final 2 games and you're the MVP in a 7-game series.
That's
That's
what
that's
we
a whole
said.
other
You're
I've
the
been
one that defended
all
it.
week long.
I've seen that all along.
Don't
I
try
agree
and
with
stoke
you.
the
said
fire.
Bobrovsky got
You agree with
he
it.
got
What
robbed.
dumb Canadian sport
8
is
of
that?
the 6, and I've said it before
Yeah.
here all week long.
Bobrovsky was great the last game.
Panthers
I'm
won
sorry.
16
And I
games
hate
in the
Bobrovsky.
playoffs. 8 of them were 1 goal allowed or less, including 2 shutouts in game 1s of the last 2 series, and all 4 closeout games were 1-goal games.
Yes,
Bobrovsky did super.
he deserved
He
it.
stunk in those
And
3
the fact
games.
that he finished third, from
but-
what I hear, Barkov got
Yeah, supposedly
second.
Barkov was second.
Barkov was second, from
Well,
what
I don't know
hear.
who
Yeah.
votes for it, but they all need to get booted.
What do you mean? There was a long-standing Canadian writer who had 1, 2, and 3 all Oilers. Well, who else was good
Yeah.
outside of
And then
McDavid? They
people
all
from
sucked.
Edmonton,
I guess you know what?
Skinner
people from
maybe.
Edmonton are mad at people at Fort Lauderdale because we booed it. Like,
Yeah.
what
It
is
was
that?
bullshit, bull
How about
honky.
We'll let
I'm
them have
sorry.
their little bogus MVP winners, and we'll
Right.
take the cup and parade it around and eat
We
pasta
won
out of
their
it.
award as the professor.
Take
Yeah,
it
that
for
was
a
great.
Swim.
That was
Yeah,
great
that's
to
our
see.
friend Reno.
To see
we-
Reno
Did you see
shaving,
that?
and I didn't realize they were brother-in-laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until
Oh,
you made that
yeah,
comment.
yeah,
I never
yeah.
knew that until I read your comment.
And
They were
Besides,
actually
winning
brother-in-laws.
Mayo's contest is better than that stupid Conn Smythe trophy.
All right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hyphenated
Bezos
trophy.
comes
I would
back.
rather spend a Sunday here at
Right?
Gulfstream with a all-inclusive buffet than
Yep.
some little piece
Not
of
all
hardware.
inclusive.
Yeah.
The food's included. You're gonna have
Smythe
to pay for
trophy.
alcohol.
We gotta get the Stanley Cup
Yeah, I was
here
gonna say,
in
how
the
do we
next
get it
few
here?
months, and
that'd be
I'm
great.
gonna work the levers
Yeah,
because
I gotta make a move.
I know a lot of those hockey players got to be horse. Like
Yeah, for sure.
Eddie,
Yeah.
Look at Eddie O.
Olczyk,
Tifo's
Yeah.
man, Red Deer,
Yeah.
Randy Moeller.
Moeller,
Randy
man.
Moeller. We're gonna get it out here for a winner's
Yeah,
circle.
we gotta make that
photo,
happen.
and
That
we
would be
have
awesome.
to get it up here. We're gonna work behind the scenes to make this happen.
That
Joe.
would be great.
And then we're gonna make your
What do they eat out of
assistant
it?
Tommy eat some humble pie.
Yes,
because-
out of it.
out of it, because the Rangers are not the ones lugging around.
Yeah,
the
we were
cup.
talking about that yesterday too. It's just funny
Yeah, he must not be
between my
happy.
Knights, his
All right.
Rangers, but
We're
it's
gonna
all good.
dream. And as I was telling, the presentation cup stays with the champion team
The
for
fake
like
cup.
100 days, where each member of the team, players, staff gets to spend some time with it. and it hangs out. And that guy, Phil Pritchard, who is
He actually
the
goes with it.
curator,
Yeah.
This is the dumbest thing I've
the
ever heard.
shaggy
Mayo
blonde,
said that he goes everywhere with it.
he
Yeah.
accompanies
For
it. He's
3
like-
months.
he's
Doesn't
like-
he have to go home? He
he's
never
the
goes home.
bodyguard of the cup.
See, that's
Yeah.
weird to me.
He
You go to
makes
people's
sure that
houses.
when you put pasta in it or when it takes a dip in the ocean, he cleans it out. He polishes it. He makes sure it doesn't
Just so I
get
got
tarnished.
this detail
Yes.
right, because this creep got Lubie told me if you're a player and you take it home with you, that dude has to sleep in your house.
That's what
that
Mayo
night
said. Mayo said
with
that.
the cup.
No, I don't know if he stays overnight with it. He'll
Okay.
like come in the morning and
Okay.
then
Okay, okay.
and then
Because that
you
would
know,
be creepy.
hopefully-
If
I thought that was
white
weird
glove
as hell.
clubs, dude.
Yeah.
If I wake up in
But
the middle
when
of the night
okay.
and that dude is polishing the cup with his white gloves, I might stab him to
yeah,
death.
In his
but how do you know
boxers.
if the cup? How do you know if the cup leaves in the middle of the night?
Yeah,
Does it
well,
sleep outside?
that's
You know, like
the
a
thing.
guard or
It
something.
could
you know?
disappear, and that's why
Like
they
it
have
ended-
3 cups.
Like
in
it ended
case-
up at the elbow room
I
at
think-
8:30 in the morning. You know,
case
I mean,
of shenanigans.
This is
but
and
Philip,
this is all over a fake cup. Like this dude
Yeah.
It's not
dedicated
the-
his
it's
life
not the
to
real
a
one.
fake
Yeah.
cup.
yeah.
a replica cup. It's the present. It's a real.
Replica means
They-
fake.
It's
They
it's
still
the
have
present-
it in the
They
thing,
call
and
it
people
the
look at it.
presentation
And it's a
cup.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. If
the
it,
guy,
if it ends up here at Gulfstream Park, I'll fill it with whatever you got. With
Okay.
Yeah, we
That's
have to like
great.
whatever
do,
you
like,
want.
shrimp or
Beverage,
whatever it
food,
is,
I'll
something
fill it up.
funny.
I mean, I
and
shave, you know,
Yeah,
the Parmesan
Parmesan,
over
yeah.
like Reno, but
Phil Pritchard, he doesn't wear white gloves all summer long. Actually, when he was in at Heritage with Reno, you could see him standing behind. He was in shorts.
Need a drink, I think.
He looked
Did he
like
have
he
his
was
white
having a good
gloves on with
time.
his shorts.
And
That
that's-
would have been really
And
funny.
that's when it goes around in public. When it went to, I guess, that Club 11 down in Miami.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He must be hanging out with it. But then when it goes and spends a day with people at their homes and goes in the pool, I assume
Yeah.
he says, "All right, I'll see you tomorrow at 7. Please don't
Okay.
take a
Good.
leak
Okay,
in it or
here's
something."
my
Because you
question.
weirded me out.
Here's
I'm like,
my
he had-
question,
I
though.
think Chuck's
Blackhawk's
house.
taking it back to is it Finland?
Finland, I think
Yeah.
he's allowed to take it for
Yeah.
again. They make all
Here's
these
my
arrangements.
question, though, because
Yeah.
I am fascinated with this human being now. This is a dude who dedicates his entire life to traveling around with a replica cup, meaning a fake cup,
it's one
that
of the
he
real
himself
cups.
will not allow himself to touch. That
Oh,
he has
doesn't
to
touch it.
have
yeah.
those little white gloves that he touches.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's watching these dudes take it to strip clubs and strippers
It
rub
was
their
in the
genitals
ocean.
over it. And people
Wow. We
eat
went south
spaghetti
on
out of
that
it.
one. We
and
went south
all
on
this,
that.
no, that happened. That
He has
famously
the
It was
happened.
a
finest-
thing. It was a
The
thing.
finest
The
and
Colorado
disinfectants and
Avalanche.
rags.
Yeah,
Oh,
He
I
will-
spent an entire
I
night
thought you were talking
at a
about
strip
11
club.
the other night. I didn't
No,
know.
no,
I
no,
didn't know
no.
what that about.
No, but like people do all these disgusting things with
But
this cup,
he-
and you're on the sideline with your shaking cotton
Yeah,
gloved
yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe they're doing this to
Yeah.
my
I'm
fake
sure
cup.
he has a
That
variety.
dude has to think about suicide like 3
Yes,
times a
no,
week.
He
it's-
has a variety of cleaning products and
Exactly.
the finest in cloths and
Oh,
Yeah.
polishing.
I get that, but you
items.
yourself are never allowed to touch it.
So he actually has a Twitter.
April showers at
He
Tootsie's
has-
gets to touch it all over,
He has
and you're not allowed to touch it. What a life that is! That's crazy.
he has a Twitter account and the handle is Keeper of the Cup.
Okay.
At Keeper of the
Yeah.
Cup.
Again,
is
I'm
Phil
saying that's
Pritchard's-
got to be a really
He better make a
frustrating
lot of money
life.
because he's all over the
All right,
place.
we've dragged it out long enough. I've got
Yes.
2 winners here, thanks to Joe
Thank you
Beja
to
and
the one and
his
only Joe Beja.
generosity. And we've got, I believe it's a first timer, Timothy Gina Johnson.
Okay.
Congratulations. I don't know if it's like a
Timothy.
married couple that actually
It probably is a couple. yeah.
adheres to Joanne's preferences and just has one entry between them each week.
Probably.
But Timothy Gina Johnson, congratulations. You're one of the winners
Congratulations
of this
Timothy and
week's
Gina.
10 Palm Sunday Brunch Contest. And then we have a repeater, and this is really going to upset
Oh God.
a certain person who I don't even know if she's still watching the show
Isn't-
anymore. I haven't seen her for a while, but we do miss you,
Mm-hmm.
Joanne. We want you back. But following on the heels of his wife's win a couple of weeks ago, Arthur Maines, you are the other winner.
That's fine. We love them. The Mains.
And you know what? We're going to have another Sunday
Blanche and
Brunch
Arthur,
contest,
congratulations.
and they can
Yeah.
come together and each invite a friend, and
With a
then
brunch
they'll have
fest.
a
Like a brunch
four-top
fest. Okay.
Brunch Fest coming up, and we got to come up with a date,
Dr.
Joe.
Joe, yeah.
July 21st or July 28th. Does either one of those work for you?
Yep. Either
Both
one
of them
works for
works?
me.
All right,
Both.
Lubie, we'll
I think
consult
both
with
are
the
for me,
Brain
yeah.
Trust, and then we'll start
There you go.
promoting it. Next week is July already, but we'll have
Yeah.
a brunch bash
Yeah.
either Sunday, July 21st or 28th. I'm leaning towards the 21st.
Okay.
But
I think
That
I'm good
works
either
great
one.
for me too.
Yeah.
Also, because just so you know, that following weekend on the 27th is National Tequila Day,
Okay.
and we will be doing tacos and tequila as our
There you
next
go.
taste of the track on the
So
27th.
there you
definitely
have
wanna
it.
be there this
July
Saturday.
21st is
Yeah,
the
'cause I
next
wanna be
brunch
there for that
bash.
one.
and then that
Ruby
way
will
you
be
can
there
come
for
2
that
weekends in a row.
And
2
then
weekends.
I was going to ask you about the next upcoming Taste of the
Yeah.
Track.
Saturday, July 27th, it's National Tequila Day, so we'll be doing tacos and tequila.
And that's always a big hit, popular
Oh, yeah, it was great.
event.
Yeah.
Are tickets available at this point?
Yes, they should be up on site. Let me double check. Just still getting back in the swing of things.
Gulfstreampark.com.
Vacation. But
Gulfstreampark.com/events is the place to go for your Taste of the Track tickets. And if you want to take part in the next Gulfstream 10 Palms Lunchbox Sunday Brunch Bash, and again at a discounted rate, so we're going to do
20% off.
20%
So
off
it'll be
the usual
$44.
$44 plus you'll put on the gratuity and the
Tax and
tax.
gratuity.
It's still a great day. We're going to have a lot of fun out here. We'll be picking some winners. Saratoga will be off and running that day. So besides live racing here at Gulfstream Park, we'll be watching the races at Saratoga. That'll be July 21st. And if you want to join us for that, just RSVP to me at mikemayoeats@gmail.com. Same address that you're going to send your contest entries to for this coming up week. And again, congratulations to Timothy Gina Johnson and Arthur Maines for winning last week's contest. And get your entries in for this week before noon tomorrow. All right, it's time for the third and final break.
Yes.
And Joe, it is great to have you back. It was a real pleasure to meet Jason last week. He was fun.
He was great. He was fun.
He seems like he's with it, and he's going to be, bringing some good new ideas and new dishes maybe to the whole scene. And you got to like a guy who's worked at like Universal. Like it's actually, because this is a pretty big room, and you got to take care of a lot of different things. And a guy who's obviously familiar with some of the large scale venues. Right? So.
Very excited.
Very good. All right. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everybody. Until, we got to do a live spot for our friends at Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival.
There you go.
And this time we're part of the
This
show.
one we should have Joe go to as a guest and not have to.
Yes,
we
are going to definitely invite Joe if you like oysters.
Yes.
Raw oysters. We're calling it Pearl Jam by the Sea with our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea, Saturday, August 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. I know it's a racing day, so I don't know. But you're more than welcome to join us, as is everybody. Go on to the vlfoodwine.com website or eventbrite.com and do a search for Even Keel Oysters. And what you're going to get from 1 to 4 p.m. is unlimited raw oysters, unlimited sparkling wine, along with, if you get the VIP ticket, you get a seat at the bar and a entree from their brunch menu at Even Keel Lauderdale by the Sea. There'll be some live music featuring some tunes from the band of the day. We're going to be saluting Pearl Jam. We're calling it Pearl Jam by the Sea. And we're also going to be conducting an oyster eating contest. But, I'll be putting together 5 people that are going to try to chow down 60 oysters in 5 minutes. You want any part of that?
No. What's the prize?
The prize.
Do we know the prize, actually?
Yeah, I am going to be awarding the inaugural Pearl Jam necklace.
Oh, and now, Jesus.
Okay, here we go.
Remember he said it the other way, which this way isn't better.
I'm going to be.
Yeah, it really isn't.
He thinks it's better, but it's not better.
All right, go
I'll tell you a
online.
story about
It's Eddie Vedder. No, I'm kidding.
I'll tell you a story about something that happened to our restaurant menus at some point.
All right,
It's not on the air.
let's take our final break. And again, vlfoodwine.com for that. Also, you can get your early bird tickets for next year's festival in January. And don't forget, Dine Out Lauderdale coming up in August and September. It's going to be a whole bunch of great special deals going on at some of your favorite Greater Fort Lauderdale restaurants. So check it out, vlfoodwine.com.
All right, we wrap up this week's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from Gulfstream Park 10 Palm after this.
Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me. I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Welcome back, and we're going to wrap up this week. What a week it was. I mean, from Beauregard's Meats and Corvina's Social
Stanley
Hour.
Cup to start
And
the
I
week.
had dinner at Corvina after the show and with our friend Tom T.
Tom
happened to
T
be
showed
there
up
'cause
randomly.
Oh, wow.
His guy Cal is now working there at Corvina.
Do you have some Corvina at Corvina?
I did not.
Do they have Corvina? I don't know. Actually,
They
that's funny. I
have
don't know
all
if they have
kinds of
Corvina.
good fish dishes. We had a nice octopus appetizer dish.
Corvina, always good at the Cafe
At
Seville.
Cafe Seville,
Yeah,
which we
Corvina.
love that.
Oh, Seville's
I have to get in there
Yeah.
soon, and I haven't seen Joey for a while. Maybe for your birthday, we can do a birthday.
We should do that. Yeah, the boys were there the other night. I almost went over there last night, actually.
Nice.
And now the new thing is hang out at the bar there and bet Churchill Downs.
He's got the
There are more
TVG,
racing forms than plates on the bar.
the
Go ahead,
Phantom.
Mike.
I love it because
Yeah.
if you want some action and a comfortable place to have some beautiful Spanish cuisine along with some great drinks and some racing action, Cafe
Good
Seville
spot.
is the
Great
spot.
It's the wheelhouse.
It's going to be a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. If you go out to the parade, make sure to stay
yeah,
hydrated.
be safe. Be hydrated. It's going to be hot.
Enjoy yourselves. I'll be relaxing by the pool in the spa at the
There you go,
Biltmore.
Mr.
It's a
Biltmore.
tough life I've got here.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
good.
I'm praying
Seriously,
for more
dude.
rain, though. It's fun. But
Honestly.
Have you ever been to the original Biltmore?
I have not. As opposed
Never
to what?
take it. That's the weirdest tour. The one in Nashville.
Oh, that
Oh,
the
that-
Carolina one.
That,
That one's insane and it's
It's
expensive
the
as hell.
weirdest tour. It's like
are
a,
these two related? Is there a
I
knockoff? or
believe.
I think there is some
The hotel is from the
relation.
fammy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Oh,
there's some relation.
was there a Biltmore family? I should
Yeah.
know
Yes,
these
there's a
things.
Biltmore
that's
family.
where-
They have a
Oh,
compound
Yes.
in North Carolina, and then I think this started
The
with
tour
them.
is like $125.
It's nuts. It's
The
insane.
one in
Go-
Nashville?
Yeah.
It's a compound. It's like
Asheville,
Does
not
that
Nashville.
include
Asheville.
the champagne or any kind of
That's the thing.
friction
They
dances?
give you like this homemade North Carolina wine at the end, and it is the worst crap you've ever put in your mouth. It makes Thunderbird seem like a delicacy.
Thunderbirds.
All right. Well, I hope everybody has an enjoyable and safe
Yes, be
weekend.
safe,
We'll
be
see
safe.
you again. Actually,
We'll see you
we're
before
gonna,
the 4th.
we're going to take a little 3-day weekend down there for the staycation. So we'll be back Tuesday at Shenanigans with our guy Pat, and then Gilbert's on Wednesday, and then we'll be back here to celebrate Defoe's. I'm not even
Yeah,
going to
the
get into the
birthday.
number
73.
birthday.
It's a sick number. It really is.
Well, you've got
Do I look less coherent than Joe Biden did last
No,
night,
you look
though?
a lot
That's the
better than
question.
I
Biden.
promise
Only
you,
a
I
few
was
years
going to do
behind.
this for you as a service this
Yeah.
morning, Defo. I promise you, as someone who you know loves you, if you
Yes.
ever get, if I come on a show 10 years from now and you're like Biden was last night, I will personally put the pillow
Oh, no,
over
it's
you.
it, man. That was Hank Goldberg
I will
syndrome.
no.
Is that the
personally,
two? Is that the two? I think I have it.
all right.
because
Oh,
you know I
no.
love you. If you ever
Yeah.
get to that point, dude, I'll be the one who puts you out of your misery.
The
Yeah.
celebration rolls on, and we'll see everybody next week. Enjoy every sushi, every salad, and enjoy every sandwich.